I get it. Next week is Q4 and you probably feel like you're screwed. Like there's no way you're going to make up that amount of money or quota in the amount of time you have left. As my Nana would say, well, not with that attitude you won't. Nana always had great advice. She also had great dating advice, and she would say things like, slow down, take baby steps, and don't make it all about you. I was reminded of this advice last weekend when my youngest son came over and asked me for dating advice. I tried not to smile, but I did put on my little coaching hat and started asking him some questions about this woman he was so interested in. Like, how did he meet her? What's she into? How old is she? What does she do for a living? And what does she do for fun? And, of course, he had answers for those questions, despite the fact that they had met in a noisy music festival, and, of course, it's hard to have a conversation there and get her attention. Kind of like how you probably feel when you're trying to get the attention of your prospects in Q4, right? But he really liked her, and she was smart and funny and independent. And he hadn't found someone like her in a long, long time. Kind of feel like some of those buyers that you ended up with that stalled or delayed or weren't qualified, and now you found an ideal fit. So, when my son learned that she was a vegan, he decided he'd get a bushel of organic vegetables from a friend who owned a farm and asked to cook dinner for her. At her house, where she lived with her kids. So, of course, she responded with, look, you're a nice guy, but I think I'd like to take this a little bit slower. I know, ouch, right? I'll let you fill in the blank on how that relates to your year and pipeline so far. Then he told me, but Mom, she mentioned she's hanging out with this other guy, and he rides a motorcycle. I don't think I can compete with that. Well, that might be kind of how like you feel when your ideal buyer says, you know what, we're going to check out the competition first before we make a decision. Another ouch. The advice that I gave him is the same advice that my Nana gave me growing up, and it's the same advice that I give to salespeople I coach on a daily basis. First, take it slow. If you are talking about your company or your product or the solution in the first part of the discovery call, you're going too fast. And you're probably also making a lot of assumptions. And all that is going to do is to slow you down later on when your buyer puts on the brakes, like my son's love interest did, or starts to disappear altogether and stop responding to you. And you're also making it all about you. And buyers and potential dates don't care about that. They care about themselves, their solution, how they think it's going to be solved, what they think the real problem is, what they think that they should do, and what they hope for if it's resolved or fixed. In order to make it all about them, you have to take small baby steps by asking simple, open-ended questions in the discovery process. Be curious, be skeptical. Ask them to clarify what they mean in specific examples. You see, asking those types of questions in the discovery process lights up the part of our brains that make us happy. We like to talk about what we think and want. And not only that, it helps us to see things from a different perspective. And that's what buyers value. Sellers who can make them think of things that they hadn't considered, or help them to look at things differently with a new perspective. Now, there's one last piece of advice that I gave to my son that I'm going to also pass along to you. Don't put all your hopes and dreams in one person. You're young. Get out there. Meet more people. Same goes for you even at the end of the year with your pipeline. It's never too late to start proactively prospecting. And the best way to meet new people who are similar to the people that you like that are your ideal buyers is to ask for introductions and referrals, especially at the end of the year, because you only have so much time. And that transference of trust and credibility through a referral could change the rest of your year. So get out there, take it slow, take baby steps with some simple questions, and make it all about them. Happy selling and happy dating.